started because thank you. Get started, then we'll get this into one person. So good evening, everybody. Thank you for your patience there. It's so wonderful to see you tonight. It is March 21st, and we are just going to get started right away by first welcoming everybody that is brand new here into the One Person Big Difference Lifevantage family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please put your name into the chat. Please, you guys, say where you're coming in from. All of you, we are here to make relationships, help one another, and just grow this as fast as we can. And I'm going to put your names up towards the end, but since we got started with little technical difficulties, I'm going to wait to do that at the end so we can get this party started. I'm going to turn this right over immediately to Shauna and Troy Lobby, who are Pro Force here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota area. And they are going to share a few tips that we learned, or that they learned from Master Pro 10, Markson Chateau. So Shauna and Troy, over, please. Thank you.
So first of all, so many gold nuggets from Mark's and Chateau. I mean, it was just so exciting, but I've got to bring this in. So he talked about the income generating activities in place of doing. He said you're either having income generating activities or you're just dreaming. And I really like that. So instead of just doing, those activities would be income generating doings. Because he said we can all do, but we can kind of waste our time with our doings and our activities. So that really stuck with me. And then as he made his way through the academy, at the end, he said, now I want you to pick 3 things from everything that we talked about, 3 income generating activities that you can commit to. And since we just have a couple of minutes to each share, I'm just going to share one of my 3. And one that really sticks out to me is setting up a meeting within 24 hours when you have a new distributor. And then when you're meeting with them, decide what they really want. Pull out that our average monthly income statement and look at that specifically with them. And then when they decide what they want, then you ask them to go into their why. Why do you want that? And that was so powerful to me, especially the timing. You know, I thought it's important for us to all know our why, but I didn't think about as a new distributor coming in to really hit on that right away, because that gets to their heart right from the beginning and just kind of gets them going, because that's their why, and that feels powerful to them. You know, we got to, the way that Mark set this up was for at least a couple hours, Chad and Stephanie Hansen were in the hot seats, and he actually went through all of that with them and brought them, he's, you know, kind of pretended like, okay, you're new, well, they are new distributors. They just came in last month, so it was perfect. But he had them go through all that and do what they want and why they want it. And it was just so powerful to witness that. So that stuck with me. So that's going to be one of my income generating activities that I am committing to. And so, all right, go ahead.
I'll just throw one in too real quick. I think the biggest part for me, not one of the biggest parts, was whenever we're talking to somebody about the business side of it and they ask, what's this about? It feels like you vomit up oxidative stress, and you know how and people have no idea what that means. So he just said, all you do is just tell them, here, I'm going to send you the link to our ABC News Report, or you send them to the www.abcnewsreport.com and take a look at that, and we'll talk about that in more detail when we get together. Mm-hmm. I thought that was fantastic, because hammering with oxidative stress and the benefits of all of that, people have no idea what it is. So that was a big nugget for me.
Yes. So I'm just going to lead this right into Chad and Stephanie. And I just want to quickly introduce them because they're relatively new as well. Just started in February. So Chad is the owner of Hanson Eastside Physical Therapy. He's got dual credentials, physical therapist and certified athletic trainer. And then his wife Stephanie is an RN of 30 years here in Sioux Falls as well at Sanford. And she happens to be my sister. So I'm just super excited to have them along on this journey. And so take it away, you two.
All right. First of all, what a blessing we had. This was our first live meeting that we'd gone to, and to have Mark there and really pour into us, just really felt blessed with that. So And to know where he's at in this business and to think that he's taking the time and spending with us and was just like, I don't know, anyways,
Yeah.
just incredible. But one of the nuggets I got from this was, and Leslie, you kind of touched on this in previous, and how for me, my why changed that day when Mark approached me, because my initial why was kind of a faith-based why. And then my true why, as he dug into me deeper, became a financial why. And it said, I just feel like this why thing, we need to be able to get in touch with our why. And like Shauna's saying, even, you know, just working on figuring out what our whys are, because that's so much of that is going to be determined on what we do with that and where I want to go with it. And so for me, what really came across for me was his business end of it, because my why wasn't necessarily at the beginning a business or how much I can make, although deeper in it was, because I wanted some financial security from that later down in life. So it's really just got me going. It's exciting. So for those that haven't ever been to one, you need to go, because they're very beneficial. Another thing he touched on was this 5-10-5 to help build leverage. Just to hear him and to see how he's made his work, and to see this 5-10-5, which was build 5 builders, business builders, 10 customers, and then build that 5 levels deep. So to help your group and your leg and everybody else underneath achieve those, and then just keep working. And again, something else he touched on was just, you know, each month try to get a distributor and 2 customers and just kind of move on. And then the biggest of it all was for me is being active, doing active things. I am one of these guys that gets in my brain. And so for me, I just got to start inviting, like he said, and then use our third party too. So.
Okay, for me, again, it was, I guess the nuggets were find out what drives you. And that made me really just step back. It's your why, but also just what really drives you. And so I really thought about that after leaving there. Really take time to do that, because I think you'll be more motivated to keep pushing forward when you find that what is really driving you. Make connections was another one. And then look for people you really want to do the business with. You know, that's important. You know, you're going to be really relational with them, and they're part of your team. They're part of your life. So, you know, really look at who you also want to do the business with. And then also, like Troy said, if someone asks you what it is, tell them the ABC Pride Time did a news piece, watch, and we can get together. We will talk about it. You know, be simple. And so that helped me, because I am like, long paragraphs, long, and all these different tools I'm setting up. So I need to like shorten up just a little bit. So I'm going to work on that. And then also about, like, if someone asks you, is this a MLM? I get that a lot, multi-level marketing. And he just said, don't assume it's a bad thing. So when they say it, don't go, yeah, I know it is, you know, don't assume they're thinking bad. So don't dwell on that. And then also just return it and say, yeah, what's your definition of multi-level marketing? You know, bring it back to them so that you're asking them, which kind of helps. And then you can have a conversation about it. And of course, I think it's great that it's a multi-level marketing, and I can feed into that if I want to. And then have a goal, make a plan, execute that plan, and then just go do. So there we go. That's mine.
Thanks, Chad and Steph. Love you guys. I just got to give a real quick special shout out to our lovely niece, Miss Kaylee Hansen, a new distributor, Chad and Stephanie's daughter, waving.
Woo!
So, you've warmed my heart when I saw your face pop up, Kaylee. I haven't seen you for a while. But let me introduce our next group, our next couple. Kevin and Amy Potus, very dear friends of ours, amazing leaders in the industry of pharmaceuticals. Kevin's a regional manager for a company, the top of his game for 20+ years. Amy is the top of her company. in her pharmaceutical area. Extremely well knowledge, really been busting it out. Pro 4 in 40 days, I think, something like that, a very short amount of time. They're just out there killing it. So I can't see them on my screen, but I know they're here if they want to take it away and give some nuggets for us.
Thanks, Troy. That was so sweet. Yeah, this was our first live event too, and it was so fun. Mark was just amazing, and he's just so genuine and real, and fun to just hear. Like he was in the beginning, and how he came about in the business, and then just listening to him, how he's growing it and his tactics, and like there were a lot of things that Kevin and I took away from it. So I echo everybody else. Like if you can get to a live event, it's awesome. There were so many pearls, but I'll just say this one. I like this because I think sometimes you think, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And if you're working, bless you, whoever that is, if you're working 2 jobs, you're stressing out thinking, how am I gonna have time to do this? And this is what he said. Initially, the work you put in will feel like you're being very underpaid. But over time, by basically repeating that income generating behavior, you will start to feel like you're being overpaid for the work you're putting in. So it's really all about reaching that tipping point, which can happen quick depending on how much work you put in. So I love that. And when you're feeling like, oh, geez, I'm not really making any money, but I'm putting a lot of effort into this, I think just keep thinking about, I got to get to that tipping point, and then it will be the other way around.
Okay, yeah, awesome. For me, honestly, I think there's a couple of things that stand out to me is, and I do this every day in my world that I work in, which won't last very long, but you got to mentor other people, right? You've got to help them understand the system is about relying on other people, because I think one of the mistakes that people can make is that they're not coachable. And so one of the things that stood out to me is when you're sending on, if you want to get good at anything, you have to practice. And I'm not going to be good at an intro if I don't practice it and I don't put myself out there to be coached. And I thought something that Mark said that was interesting in itself was when you share the ABC, like what they like about what they heard. And so you're basing off something that they see as a positive thing right out of the gate. And so, in essence, by them seeing something they like, well, let me tell you the story of my why. And then I can go into the story, because I think one of the things that was interesting about Mark was he didn't talk about Lifevantage. He didn't talk about Protandem. He's getting to the why and what that individual's why was. And I think for Chad and Stephanie, thanks for, putting yourself out there, because you were in essence a case study for how you would introduce somebody to this business. And they had, the willingness to be open to, I think, not only learn, it's why they came, but also to kind of get back and dive back into that why. So I thought it was a really good thing, but I actually like to be the student of the game, and I want to perfect my skills. And the only way I can do that is to practice. And there were parts of the meeting that I actually felt like I was doing more things wrong than right. And despite the success that we're having. And but it also tells me that I'm also willing to be coachable. And so you don't have to figure it out by yourself, but I would tell you to listen to other people. Don't think that no matter where you're at, no matter what level you're at, if you are closed-minded and are not coachable, you're going to have a hard time advancing. And so I would just encourage people to be coachable.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all. I love you. Michelle, I think it's back to you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, so good. There's so many things that I want to say. Love you guys, all of you. That was incredible. I want to say so much, but we've got more people to bring forward. So I'm just going to change this up a little bit because we want to keep the flow going. I'm going to play a video at the very end, you guys. I was going to play one right now, but I'm going to play it at the end. It's just super short, something that Brandon Cunningham, Master Pro 10, shared. at Lifevantage Academy. I put it into Vitality Living today, and there's a longer version that talks about the power of NRF2 activation, the power of the p-value, and what that really means. And if you want to talk about belief in what we have, belief in our science, and especially anybody here with a medical background. And for those of you that are sharing with people, it just completely blows your mind. So I'll have a shorter version one, but I also have a longer version one, which is about 10 minutes, which is so cool. Brandon talks about being in the company for all these years, basically being in from the very beginning, and he knew the science was powerful. He knew that we only had the only product on the planet, to extend lifespan. That's a natural product. That is the only product that's proven to lower oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days and up to 70% after 3 months. And having the blood of an 80-year-old down to the 20-year-old, which actually in fact goes to that of an infant. But this p-value fact, and I see some medical professionals on here and the leverance, and it is such a big deal. So I'm going to play that at the very end. So I'm going to pass it over real quick to Michelle Voris. If you can give us a couple quick little nuggets, and then Michelle, if you can pass it over to Miss Tanya, and we'll keep the flow going to respect everybody's.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sister.
Awesome. Well, Brandon was one of my very favorite trainers for LVA. I've been to multiple ones, and he said, and these are just reminders for those of us who are building, and sometimes we're like, it's not happening fast enough, right? How many of you have ever felt that way? He said, leaders don't do what they say they're going to do long after the feeling it was made in is gone. And he said, we're not selling, we're solving a problem. So listen for people's opportunity, and then ask them if they were being real, and ask them if it's a real problem for them, and ask them if they're open to a solution. And then do the takeaway and say, this may or may not be for you, right? And that way they're at total choice to say yes or no. Like Leslie said, in getting started right, everything starts at 200 PV. That is the foundation of our company. And Brandon said, get to 20 leaders. And what he said is at Pro 6, people start working without you. So let's all work. We have 20 leaders at Pro 6 and focus on subscription and leaders. And he said 2 other things that really grabbed me. ITT is a filter, and a filter gets rid of things you don't want. So it is really our screening process, is taking them through the process to see if they're going to make it to the other side. So there are 3 questions, signs that you need to build your business. Number 1, if your upline if you stop completely working your business, would it go on without you? If not, keep building your business. Number 2, if your upline stopped doing 3-way calls and overviews for you, would your business continue? If not, keep building. Number 3, if we disappear, meaning your upline, will this negatively affect you? If the answer is yes, your upline's actions should never affect your business. So Tanya, the floor is yours.
Okay, hi. That was so succinct, Michelle. Okay, hi everybody. I'll try to make this real quick too. I also saw virtual, and I think it's so crazy how what Michelle took from it is completely different than what I took from it. And the point in that is that I've heard people say before, well, I don't need to show up because they're going to go through ITT again. They're going to go through the same things again. And your journey is always going to look different. Your level of belief, your level of leadership will always be different. So you always need the training, because you're going to hear different things at different times based on where you're at. And there's a great saying that says, empty your wallet into your mind, and your mind will fill your wallet. And Lifevantage Academy is a must. Brandon talked about the fact that even if he can't be present, he still invests and gets his ticket. And this is a perfect example, because everybody should want to have their hands on the playback of virtual from Brandon Cunningham, because it's the best I've ever seen. He's a Master Pro 10 that was so raw and real and transparent. And I took from it a lot of the business side of it, because I want to find business builders. I want to be an Amy Homewood. I want to be savvy with the business, the way I talk to people about it. And Brandon said his first aha moment was when he had children. He knew he needed to have like a will. So he hired a financial advisor, And about 6 months into this journey with his financial advisor, he was going over his numbers. And when he first hired his financial advisor, he told him about Lifevantage, and he was like, nope, not interested. I'll never do network marketing. 6 months into it, his financial advisor asked him, how is that thing going? And Brandon said, it's going really good. He said, I actually made about $2,000, this last month. And he's like, what? He goes, you must have sold a lot of stuff. And Brandon's like, no, he goes, actually, I only sold about $30 worth. He said, the other 1,800 came from other people that are a part of my business. And the guy was like, so what did you make last month? And he's like, about 2,000. He goes, so you made 2,000 this month, and you made 2,000 the month before. And what about the month before that? And Brandon said, yeah, it was pretty close to that. And his financial advisor said to him, do you realize that in 6 months, that thing you're doing is doing what our plan will do 10 years from now for you? So Brandon duplicated in 6 months what his financial advisor had set up for him and the plan for 10 years. So Brandon's point is, by doing network marketing, you have the ability to compress time, because you have the ability to leverage for yourself what so many people try to get by investing in retirement plans. And he says, I'm not against those, but if you can compress time, wouldn't you do it? Of course we would do it, right? And then he made up his income that he was making in 2 years. He replaced that. He also said that you have to have belief in the 4 pillars, and we all hear about that. You have to have belief in the product, belief in the company, belief in this network marketing industry, belief in yourself. And that doesn't come from just being 99% in. That doesn't come from going to LVA just once in a while. You have to go all the time. Troy Loggy used to be my boss. And if Troy Loggy told me while I was working for him that I had to go to certain events, I was going to do it, because if I didn't do it, I would lose my job. I would have to be all in, 100% all in, because then I don't have anything there for me. We have to have that same mindset when we're growing this business. And he said too, he's like, you cannot compare your journey. Everybody's journey is going to be the same. And most people, the reason they quit is because they're not making money. So therefore, you're losing belief in something if you're not making money. But the thing is, there will be people that come in right away and make a lot of money. And there will be people where maybe it'll take them 2 or 3 months before they can get that first customer. Some of the top people in this company, it took them months upon months to finally get someone to say yes. But that is life. That's the way it is with anything. So as long as you keep investing and letting your wallet fill your mind, and you make time for continuing to build your belief in those 4 pillars, you're going to want to continue to move forward, because you'll have 100% belief that yes will come and you'll make that money. One other thing I wanted to say too is he talks so much about passive income and the beauty of passive income. And back to what Troy had said, he said, what's this all about? This is about a world that's struggling right now. And for Brandon, in the beginning, he talked about the fact that he had to sell his truck because he couldn't afford the gas. This was back 2008, 2009, and gas was over $4 again, and he couldn't afford to fill his truck. They're siphoning gas out of people's gas tanks in California right now because people can't afford their gas. And what if you could give them that extra $1,000 a month to afford gas? This is the solution to most of the problems that people are dealing with right now. And that passive income comes from subscriptions. So I went through my numbers before this call, and 70% of my check every single month as a Pro 7 is because people use a product every single month. So subscriptions are a part of the MVP bonus. They're a part of all the incentives taking place right now. You want people to fall in love with the products, and you want to create passive income. And that only comes from getting people on the products and then building their belief. And you have opportunity presentations that take place every single week that you can plug people into, even though they said yes and started the product, to get them in and get them within it and see all the other products that can take place in their life, just to continue to build that belief. Or just like Michelle said, she put that video in Vitality Living on the P factor. That's a huge thing. You should copy, you should what's the word? Tag everybody in Vitality Living so they can see that, build their belief, because every month they use that, you have this established income for your family that can compress time and take care of you when life gets really hard. So I will now turn it over to Amy, and she will tell you a little bit more about LVA and how you can make sure you're registered for the next one. Amy?
So exciting. This is such a great call, guys. I have one person to share before I switch over and show you how you're going to get yourself registered for the next event, because y'all got to get to the next event, right? I have been part of this company since 2016, and I drove 4 hours one direction, one way every month for 6 years to get to the Sioux Falls event. I committed to that. And now that our our local community is growing so much, this is the first time ever I've stepped back and I'm hosting places here in our local community to try to build LVA here. But 6 years, guys, 6 years, commit, show up. It's non-negotiable. It's like, I would not be a Pro 6 right now if I hadn't done that. And I'm on my way to 7. We're going to do it. Woo! But I do have an amazing person to share her takeaway. It was her very first LVA. She just had an amazing aha moment. I met this beautiful woman back when I worked at the hospital in the behavioral health unit, and her name is Strum. She got married during the 2020 year. How fun is that? She's been working in mental health and as a behavioral health counselor. She's been in the hospital now for a long time, but she's been doing this for 13 years total. She's also been powerlifting since 2015, and I first got to touch her life with these products in her powerlifting journey when she had kind of plateaued, and she's experienced some great benefits from that and so much energy. So she's got a great building testimony, but she just jumped in with our team and she went to her first event. And I just want her to share her takeaway as a brand new person and what she's walking away from this first LVA and what message she has to share. Tara?
Hey everybody, I'm Tara. Like I said, I've known Amy for a while, and she showed this back to me when she first started her Lifevantage journey in 2016. And I was on other supplement regimens. I was like, oh, I'm fine. I don't know. And I'm very skeptical. I want to research the heck out of everything. And so I just kind of put it off, and it wasn't the right time for me. I apparently had to grow a little bit. And this past year in 2021, I was hitting some plateaus, and I was like, I got to try something different. And Amy showed this to me, and I was like, yes, please. So I was like, I don't know if I want to be a distributor or not, but I got COVID in November, lost a ton of my hair, like over half of it. And Amy's like, you should really think about this. Look at all of these great products. You can get it for a deep discount, and you can just be all in. So I was thinking about it. I was like, screw it. Let's just do it. Let's just go. Let's jump right in. So that's what I did. And I really, really like helping other people working in mental health. I love helping others be the best that they can be. And I was like, you know what? I need to focus on being the best I can be too. And that includes this community that I've fallen into so graciously. But I went to my first LVA and it was awesome. And I was pumped, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I just felt a sense of community and positivity that I haven't felt in a long, long time. But my biggest takeaway is the solving and not shoving this on people. You got to meet people where they are, because they may not be ready right now, and that is okay, because I wasn't ready back in 2016, and that is okay. It's kind of like a bless and release kind of thing, and that's exactly what Amy did to me, and I'm very thankful she stuck around. So thank you. Yeah, that was my takeaway.
Oh, and so many aha moments, and I think it's just beautiful, and it's amazing to just see who God is bringing into our circles and how he's bringing his people together, and we're all on this beautiful mission. So, and yes, we have a team that just cannot wait to just get together again and meet each other face to face, and it's beautiful. So I want to quickly jump into sharing a screen on how are you going to get registered tonight for LVA. One thing that if you were on the new person training, you can go to your app and you can go to the little thing in the bottom here and click that and go to distributor, and it's on Big Blue Calendar, I think. You can go to Big Blue Calendar from your app. But my favorite way, because the LVA training isn't quick on there, I'm going to share my screen really quick. And we can all do this tonight, all of us, because then you have the replay too for 30 days. If you can see this, I'm on my home page, and when I click on this top, hello button, and you can scroll down and do all these wonderful things. If you've never seen this before, it's amazing. Here's the events section, and you can get registered for Activate, which you should go to Shauna Michelle first for a cheaper a discounted ticket. Global, I would book out your entire year, y'all. Like, seriously, that's a big deal. You can view all of these events right here. And then you can go straight to Lifevantage Academy. And it still looks like it has the March one up. Well, I hope not. Oh, shoot. Here's what my plan was to show you how to register tonight, but it looks like I can't do that on here, and I don't know why. All right, well, that's where you're supposed to do it. Anybody else?
Keep going. I was able to
We
register.
were able to register too.
I know.
So keep going.
I
It
had
might
it
show
pulled
it
up.
there, but once you get in there, it should show the new one.
Okay, I didn't see that before because I clicked all the way through before and it did work. Okay, so it is up. It is up.
Yay.
You can register in all these different places. Woo! We can all do this tonight. Register right here. And for those of you who came in with an elite pack, you should be able to get a free ticket. And so that is huge. And I've had team run across where they put, for whatever reason, they were trying to log in and get their free ticket and it wasn't giving it to them. If you text customer service, distributor support number, get it from your upline. If you text that number with your ID, I'm an elite pack, I'm trying to register, they'll do it immediately. I had people do it within 60 seconds. So just get it done tonight or tomorrow morning if you got that free ticket. And look at what Michelle has for you.
Tonight. It has to be done tonight.
Oh,
I'm
tonight.
I'm gonna raffle. So when I get up in the morning, y'all, I'm gonna print out the list of everybody registered, and I'm gonna go live in one person, and I'm gonna raffle off 4 t-shirts, maybe more. Sometimes I like to be like Oprah. One for you, one for you. But okay, so everybody register, put in the chat who's gonna register tonight. Make sure you're in there. And then I'm gonna wake up in the morning, print it out, cut it all up, draw it, and we're gonna raffle off for going to Lifevantage Academy. I'm not sure who is everywhere yet, but I do know that Dr. Dondi Nettles and Marcy Nettles are gonna be in Sioux Falls next month. I can tell you, they bring the fire, they bring the heat, they bring the belief, and I would fly to be trained by them. I know that we are going to be leaving there just like with our hearts racing and just so, so, so excited. And if you're already in there, you're already in there. That's so good. And I just want to thank, I know we're a few minutes over. I'm going to that video that I mentioned to you guys because I really respect your guys' time. I'm going to send it through Telegram right now, as soon as we get off here. It's 3 minutes long and it is amazing. Commit, put in the chat, I commit to watching it for 3 minutes tonight. And then remember too, it is in Vitality Living. Who's using Vitality Living to bless your guests, to bless your current customers, your current distributors that are brand new, to build that belief and to put the stories? And who here has put their own personal story in Vitality Living? You all have stories, like, you know, all little bits and pieces. Yes, put your story there. We've had some recent people put it there, and their comments back this past week were just powerful. So if you haven't put your story into Vitality Living, please, 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 with cherry and whipped cream and chocolate sprinkles or all the good stuff, put it there because you're going to bless a lot of people. So we're going to get off here. I'm going to send that through Telegram. It's in Vitality Living. And thank you guys for all showing up tonight. Thank you for everybody that blessed us with all the information, facts, tips, tricks, all of it. And just love you to pieces. Thank you so much. Big hug. Bless you. And again, welcome to all the new people here. We love you. We welcome you. Let's go bless the world. Hugs. Love, love. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.